In the vibrant streets of Bombay, there lived a man named Nisargadatta Maharaj. He was a simple, humble man, known for his quiet demeanor and his devotion to his family. His life was that of a common man. He ran a small beedi shop, lived with his wife and children, and focused on his work. But beneath the surface of his seemingly ordinary life, something extraordinary was about to unfold. One day, while attending a spiritual gathering, Nisargadatta Maharaj met a teacher who would forever change the course of his life. The teacher, Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj, had a presence that radiated peace and wisdom. His words spoke directly to Nisargadatta's soul. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are the witness to everything. At first, Nisargadatta could not understand the depth of these words. His mind was filled with questions, doubts, and the weight of his responsibilities. But the simplicity and truth in the words began to resonate with him, planting a seed of deep inner curiosity. Nisargadatta Maharaj began to question everything in his life. His shop, his family, his body. None of them seemed to be the true essence of who he was. He would spend hours contemplating the teachings of his guru and meditating on the simple yet profound question, who am I? He realized that the I he identified with, the one that worried, the one that felt pain and joy, the one that attached itself to names and identities, was not his true self. Slowly, as he sat in silence, a sense of peace began to arise within him. One day, as Nisargadatta Maharaj sat in his quiet room, absorbed in the inquiry of, who am I? Zrenia, что-то сместилось. It was as if a veil had been lifted, and for the first time, he truly saw the nature of his own being. In that moment, he realized that he was not the body, the mind, or even the thoughts. He was the eternal awareness that was present at all times, silent, still, and unchanging. He understood, I am that which is aware of the body, the mind, and the world. I am the witness to all. This profound realization did not come with fanfare. There was no dramatic event, no extraordinary experience, only a quiet knowing. But in that knowing, he found freedom. He no longer identified with the fleeting thoughts and sensations that came and went. He was no longer bound by the ego or the limitations of the body. As Nisargadatta Maharaj's understanding deepened, his presence began to attract others. Seekers came to him from all walks of life in search of truth. Unlike many teachers, Maharaj did not rely on rituals, elaborate ceremonies, or even words. His silent presence was his teaching. He would sit with his disciples simply being, and they would experience something profound in his stillness. His teachings were simple yet powerful. You are not the mind, not the body. You are pure consciousness. The path to self-realization is through direct experience, not intellectual understanding. His words were not meant to be understood by the mind, but to be felt by the heart, guiding seekers back to their true nature. Nisargadatta Maharaj continued to live in the same humble manner, running his beedi shop and interacting with the world, but his inner life had been forever transformed. The I that once identified with the worldly roles and desires had dissolved. He remained unshaken, untouched by the ups and downs of life. His true self was not bound by anything in the material world. Years later, when he was asked about death, he simply smiled and replied, "Death comes to the body, but I am not the body. I am the eternal awareness." And so, Nisargadatta Maharaj's teachings continue to live on, not through his words alone, but through the silent presence he embodied, showing us that the path to self-realization is not a distant journey, but a return to our own true nature. Nisargadatta Maharaj, with his humble beginnings and profound teachings, showed the world that self-realization is not something that is found outside of us, but something that we must discover by turning inward. His life was a living testament to the truth that we are the awareness that witnesses all, and that beyond thought and ego, we are already free.